Hello everyone, welcome back. I thought we'd have a play today with the Spring Ephemera kit. It's this kit here. As you can see, I've done a little bit of cutting out already from this cover page. And I've got a few bits on my desk. I do have a little bit of an idea of something that I want to make, but it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress as well. So I kind of want to make like a folder pocket type thing, a little bit like we made in the folio I've just done, but I think I want to make this like a floating one and perhaps have something on the back. I also have this photo slide, so I kind of had the idea of putting it over this rabbit here and making a feature of it there. This is just one of the images from the kit. I then was thinking of doing some form of like side pocket, and I have some little labels to go on. I've made a couple of gussets already just to go on there. So I've pre-made that, and all I've done is I've measured the height of this folder, measured it just below. It just happens to be 2.5 inches. The width is 1.5, and I've scored every 1/2 inch and then just folded it like that. So that is that. This is one of the strips from the kit, which I was thinking of using to back this, just to give that a little bit of interest there. Now, this is the Tim Holtz file folder, but if you don't have this, I just made this from a 6x6 paper. So if you don't have something like that, you could just say this is my 6x6, just fold it up, or you know, whatever size paper you want, just fold it in half like that. Then you can either cut yourself a shape out or just leave it like that. You know, it'll do the same job. You don't have to have this. It's just that I've got it, so, you know, I've decided to use it. I've already inked around in my Distress Oxide in Ground Espresso. And I have a little butterfly somewhere from the kit, which is just drying because I have put some glossy accents onto that. So, I think that's everything. So I think the first job I need to do is stick this onto here and get that backed and then cut around. So it's not going to go all the way down. I don't think it needs to. So what I'm going to do is just put a pencil mark so I know where to put my glue to. And I'm going to glue over here and then stick that down on top, I think, or glue on here and then stick it down like that. I think that's going to be easiest for me. So I'm going to grab my glue book. I'm going to glue directly onto here. Not going to go past this line. And then I'll just chop these bits off. So I'm going to use a craft knife for that. And then for the little bits, I'll just use a little pair of scissors. Okay, and that's how we're looking. So that looks nice. That's a nice contrast with this colour here. I don't know what paper this is. It's an old one that I had in my stash, so I can't give you any information about that, unfortunately. but it is nice, like a weathered wood. And I'm just going to, got a little bit stuck out there. Just going to ink all the way around so that it's in keeping with the rest of the folder. Now this kit's quite pastel-y, but I am grunging it up quite a bit. Well, not, you know, not too much, but I'm just adding a little bit of grunge with this oxide dye. I just like it. Okay, so that's that. So the next thing I want to do is attach this to this. So I've put transparency in it already, and I want to use some tiny brads in here to attach it on. And I'm going to attach it so it comes through to the back of here, but not through here, because then I can stick this down over the back of the brads, and then when I'm using it as a pocket, nothing's going to get stuck going through. So I'm going to go and grab the little Tim Holtz brads. Here they are. They're very cute, but they're very fiddly. I do find them a little bit of a pain, to be honest. I'm just going to get 4 of those out, and I think I'm going to go for like these goldy ones. I don't know if you'd be able to see, but they have like a little cross at the top, like you would do a screwdriver. So there's the ones with the cross, and if I can find one, there should also be one with just a line. So I'm going to make sure I get 4 of the same. So that's line, that's not what I want. That's a line. Okay, so I've got my 4 punches there. Sorry, my 4 split pins. I'm going to keep this on here where I want it. And I might use a paper clip. I'm sorry, I think I probably just really rocked the table then. Right, so I'm going to use a paper clip to keep it where I want it. Like that. Right, and I'm going to make a little hole. And next I'm going to attempt to pop these brads through. Okay, so that's one. Let's do the next one. Number 2. If you don't have these little split pins, you can use some larger ones that are more readily available in the supermarket or the stationery shop. Or you could just stick your transparency over. I'm using them because the holes were already there in the die cut. And if you don't actually have one of these, again, what you could do is just fold over like a piece of paper and make a hole, and then you've made your own. So again, don't feel like you have to have exactly the same as I'm using. This is just kind of an idea that can be used or expanded on. So let me take that off, and now I want to glue this down. But I first want to kind of twist these so that they are underneath for the most part. Okay, I'm going to use a sticker. So I could cut, where are my scissors? There they are. So I'm just going to cut that in half. fact, I could probably cut that again. And I'm just going to do this to make sure it's stuck just over that bumpy bit, so it's got less risk of coming up again. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this all the way down. So I think I'll use the wet glue for that, because I've got quite a lot of thickness, so I don't think it will warp it. And it's nice and tacky, this glue. So that's all nicely stuck on there now, and that should give a nice smooth back for when, you know, something's going in and out of this pocket. I'm going to do like a side pocket, because I don't think we'll have enough room at the top. So I have cut out one of the tags from the kit. I will eventually be rounding these corners. My little corner rounder hasn't arrived yet, so I'm not going to do it at the moment, but the idea is that that will fit in there. So I will stick down these two sides. I can't remember if I said, but this image is from the kit and this background paper is from the kit. I think I was explaining a couple of videos ago that this isn't like a full kit. There's no decorative papers with it. It is ephemera. I think I mentioned this on the flick through video. It is ephemera for you to use with other things that you have and to enhance your supplies that way, rather than actually have a full kit to use every single thing from. I don't know why this has come undone. I kind of like those type of kits because I do like to use my stash up at the same time. I don't always want everything matchy-matchy, and I've quite often got things that I can, you know, that I can use anyway, and I just might want a few elements to update them, or just add a little bit extra to them. And that's what I intended with this kit. So although I am using some Tim Holtz die cuts and some other bits as the base, that's kind of, you know, that is kind of what I intended when I put the kit together. I've got this little label here, which I'm thinking I might like to put about there. And then, oops, and then I've got this that says collect. This one says collect as well. So I thought they would go nicely together. That's the Tim Holtz snippets, field notes. That's from the die cut set as well. Again, you know, any label or anything you want to add onto there, just use what you've got. I'm going to pop that onto there. Might actually just cut that down slightly so it fits nicely. I hate cutting these. I never do them straight. So that's all on there, and I'm going to glue that onto there. I don't really want to put glue here, so I want to glue from, I want to leave like a little corner, not glued, like that. Okay, so that's how that's looking so far. And the next thing to do is to attach our gussets. To do this, what I did, once I had scored my piece of paper, I just folded up and then I folded in to make that this concertina. And the way we're going to stick it is so that the seam, this bit here, is facing outwards. So we stick it on like here on the flat edge, and the other flat edge sticks then to there. So then when you open it, if I can get hold of that, that kind of creates your gusset then. It's not going to be a massive one, but so it will open like that. But it, you know, it gives you a little bit more space than not having one at all. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use Pritt Stick for this because it's just a little bit neater, is I'm going to put glue down this flat edge. Making sure that I've got this fold on the outside, and I'm not going to put it, you know, I'm not going to put it dead to the bottom. I still want to give it room to fold, but I'm going to put it as close to the edge as I can without it hanging over. See, that's too close to the edge because I haven't cut it straight. So just double check it's going to sit where you want it to sit. And then you pop some glue on the other side. Press that down. Now, what I should have done actually is done this side first, and then I can just press it down all together. Again, leaving a little bit of space on the bottom. Again, make sure there's a little bit of space at the bottom. I've just had to twist mine because I didn't think that, you know, it's on the opposite side. I've had to wipe the glue off this side and turn it round, fold it the other way. And then we'll just pop some glue here. And close it down. While that dries, we will have a look at this little journal card. I haven't done a lot. I've just backed it on, you know, just some plain paper that I had. I'm just going to ink around it so that we can get a sense of what it's going to look like. And I might just beat the bullet and just use a larger corner rounder so that I can actually get on with the video. Or actually, I could make it as a top, a tag, couldn't I? And make some tag tops and do it that way. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let's just use this little corner. It's not very big. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. So we've got a tag made from the journal card. So I'm going to just ink this. I'll do the back as well. And I want to make a tab for the top so that I can pull it out easily. So I've found a couple of ribbons which I thought might work. So I've got this kind of polka dot one, which I thought might be a nice contrast to like the grungy inking. So I thought that could go on there. So let me just chop a bit of that off so I can see what that looks like. So it would go in there like that. Or the other option is to do like a thinner tab with this thinner thinner ribbon like that. But I think I'll go for this because I like the fact that it's quite girly, and I like it against this grunge, but it's still kind of in keeping with the kind of vintagey theme and the feel of this image here and this label. So I think I will do that. I'll take these off now. Put that there. And we could kind of have it so we made it quite long so that it kind of just hangs over like that, so it just kind of hangs off the tag. And I think what I'm actually going to do is, because I don't like, I say this all the time, but because I really don't like having like ribbon and bows coming out of eyelets, I'm gonna glue it and then I'm gonna put the eyelet in. So the eyelet will just secure it, but it won't be threaded. This won't be threaded through the eyelet and kind of sticking out like a tag, you know, like a traditional ribbon would do on a tag. So I'm gonna put a tiny bit of tacky glue on there, just a tiny bit where I want this to sit, which is about there. So if I just pop but really just to keep it in place while I put the eyelet on. And then same again here. So the eyelet's through. That's actually a nice variation for me. I like that. And that would go then in there, hanging out a little bit. So for this, I kind of feel like it's a bit one of those kind of vintagey, kind of cluttered but not too cluttered, a lot going on but not too much going on, that type of feel to it, which is what I was looking for. We should be able to, I don't want to pull it too far, but it's just a bit of glue there where I made that mistake. We should now be able to open our gussets. So that's going to allow us to get into our pocket. And I think we're done for the front, apart from my little butterfly that I put some glossy accents onto. So I'm going to go and check if that's dry, and we will add the little butterfly. If she's ready, we'll add her to the front. Here she is, all ready to go, and I'm going to pop her on there like that, I think. So I'm just going to put glue in the middle, I think, and then her wings will kind of, they've been strengthened a little bit with the glossy accents, which is why I chose to use it. So I think just putting some glue on this centre bit might look nice. And then if she doesn't stay, I can think of an alternative. So that's what we're looking like on the front, and we've got our pocket. So now for the back, because as I said, I wanted this as kind of like a floating style. Sorry, little butterfly, I hope you're going to be all right. I'm going to have to squash you a bit. I do have these. Now, this isn't the Tim Holtz Specimen Slide. It's another one that I've got. It's not got a brand as far as I know. It's just a cheap one from AliExpress. And I was wondering, could I pop that on here and make like a side pocket there? I thought that would look quite nice, and then we could utilise having this backside as well, because it seems a shame to stick it down when we've got lovely paper. So I think what I'm going to do is prep this by putting some ink around. I'm going to find some paper which could be used to back the white. I don't think I'll use the kit paper. I might do, but I think there probably would be better maybe having something plain, because I've then got some butterflies that I've cut from the kit that I can use in there. I think that one was the one I liked. And then I'm sure I've got something that I can put at the bottom here. I've inked around this. It's made it look quite grungy now. I went a little bit heavy-handed down at the bottom, but it's, you know, it gives it a bit of character. I've chosen this piece of scrap paper. It's got a tiny bit of blue, like turquoisey blue, which I thought would tie in with this colour. So I'm going to put, all I'm going to do is just put that in there and then just cut around it. And I've just thought actually that I only need enough, it only needs to come far down enough just to cover the window. So we don't actually need to go all the way up. So that stops me from having to cut the whole thing. Okay, I chop it off about there. I can just avoid, why have I got glue everywhere? I can just avoid those sticky out bits at the bottom. So it's not very technical, is it? Sticky outy bits. I can just avoid these bits at the bottom, and then I can just cut this off. Right. So next, I'm going to cut my transparency. So next, we need to stick our butterfly in there, and I think I want to choose a label and stick a label down before I close it this time, because I have put a window over that. I did find this Tracy Fox label. It's red border, which ties in nicely with the red on here on the writing. So I think I'm going to go with that. So next comes getting this butterfly straight. So that needs to go over slightly. Now I'm going to try it this way this time. I'm going to do half of it, stick it down, and then do the other half. So I'm going to keep my thumb on it there, my finger. Keep that where I want it. Put some glue underneath. I'm going to use wet glue so I can kind of lift him up like that, lift her up like that, I should say. Stick that and then do the other side. Are you straight, little butterfly? Nearly. That's better. And I think for her antennae, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of Pritt stick and hope for the best. Because it's going to be, they're going to be enclosed anyway, aren't they? And then for this, if I position about middle, down a little bit. Is there an easier way of doing this? Let me know. And I've got to be really careful not to press too hard. I don't want any glue spilling out onto here. So I'm just going to close it for the moment, and then once it's started to harden, I will press it down. Right, so this is all stuck. While this is drying, I'm going to go and choose my brads. So I've got some which are like this size, which I think might be a nice size to use on there. So let me find 4 of those. So I'm just going to use the awl again. Just going to go through the book. It's just to make a pilot hole really, just to give it, you know, a starting point. I'm just going to go back through on that back side as well, just to make sure the hole's strong enough. Not strong enough, strong enough. Goodness, make big enough. I forget my own name, if it wasn't my name. And then pop these in and try and angle them. So might need to cut that off or bend it. If I can bend it. So I'm going to have to cut that off, which is annoying, but it's fine, it's no big deal. Now, I am wearing glasses, they're here. So I have got protection on my eyes. Please don't cut anything like this without protection. Just, you know, we don't want anything flying into your eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to do the label thing again as best as I can. Just to stick these down. I think I might be struggling there, but we'll see. That's the only thing with using a split pin, is that if you get a weird shape like this, like what are you supposed to do? If you're wanting to make a pocket, you know, they're not the easiest thing to cover up. And for good measure, I'm going to secure them with some tape. So now if we bring this back in, we can put that onto there, 3 sides, and have a pocket there. So the pocket's here, so don't glue there. So I've added some clips to it just to keep it in place, and let's think about what we can now put into this pocket. I'm going to use this little girl here. She's so adorable. I do think it's from the kit, it's an image from the kit. I do think she's going to be a little bit too long, so I'm just going to cut the top off a little bit, which means I'm also going to have to cut the black border off, otherwise it's going to look strange. So I will do that. So she fits nicely in there now, so I'm going to pop her in. I'm going to round her corners, but I'm going to wait again until I get the smaller corner round her. So she's just going to sit like that for the moment, and I've got another one of these labels that's a specimen that I'm just going to pop on this side. Okay, so here's our floating pocket. So we have a look, we've got our pocket that opens here with our gussets, still a little bit stiff from the glue, and also it's quite thick card that I've used, so it might just need a little bit of encouragement. But there's our pocket. We've got another pocket here with a tag just backed on the back with our little rabbit specimen card and our little butterfly. And then turning over, we've got our specimen slide pocket here with our little girl and our little specimen tag up there. So I like that. I think that's really cute and something a little bit different. So next time we will carry on playing with the spring ephemera kit. We'll maybe make something for the inside. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. So until next time, take care and I'll see you then. Bye.